President Trump saying that he plans to release the transcript of another phone call with Ukraine's president. Meanwhile, Fox News obtains a Republican memo laying out their strategy for defending the president when hearings begin in about 24 hours from now. From the start, Republicans argue the process is not fair.
Why on earth would Volker not be there? He was the special envoy to Ukraine. We're having the top people at the State Department who handled Ukraine and now the acting ambassador that's coming in on Wednesday. Why would you not have Volker on the same panel? Why would you not give the Republicans a witness? So as of right now, we have no witnesses and we have no knowledge of the foundation of this case and of these accusations.
We will be full on this tomorrow. For today, Kellyanne Conway joins me, counsel of the president. Kellyanne, welcome back to America's Newsroom, and good morning.
Thank you, Bill.
Good morning to you. How concerned is the president over these hearings once they begin?
The president is not concerned at all. The major concern we have is that the business of the people of this country is not being done. The Capitol behind me is not a movie set. It is not a cardboard cutout. It's where your representatives work for you, ladies and gentlemen. They're wasting your money and their time. There's no vote on USMCA. There's no legislative resolution on DACA. Speaking of the news of the day, there's no vote on infrastructure, health care. And look at what the president's doing, Bill. Yesterday, he and the vice president in New York and Washington, respectively, reminding people why we're here in the first place, to make sure our veterans and our active military have the resources and the respect they deserve. Ukraine got more aid from this president than the previous president. Ukraine gets more aid from the U.S. than any other country. Some of the witnesses testified as much under oath. So our concern is that the business of the people is not being done. Where's the trade deal? Where's the drug pricing reduction? And the president today in New York City, over 3 years after first promising on what he would do with the economy, is going to deliver a progress report. The growth is up, the job production. You know, he produced over 4 million more jobs than the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, projected he would. The wages are up for blue-collar workers. The deregulatory agenda is robust and growing. The energy explosion in this country, literally, we're now a net exporter of oil and natural gas. So the president continues to be the president of everybody in this country and continues to work forward. So that's what we're concerned about.
Just to come back to this issue, I'm told here that Adam Schiff delivers the opening statement tomorrow. He will construct it in almost like
Is he going to be under oath? I think he should be under oath. I think Adam Schiff should be under oath.
I can tell you this, he's going to approach it like a prosecutor from his previous life in Los Angeles. He will make claims of abuse of power. He will make claims of obstruction of justice. How will the White House respond in real time, and will the president be watching this himself?
Adam Schiff has no credibility. The last time he delivered an opening statement to the public, to the entire world to see, Bill, it was a parody of a conversation between the Ukrainian and American presidents that simply did not exist. He has zero credibility. I called for his resignation on your network in March, maybe on your show in March. The president called for his resignation last week because he can't be trusted. He can't be trusted to be honest and credible as he oversees these hearings. And this is a serious point. He's been a partisan, and he's been growing mushrooms, having witnesses testify in the dark, outside of the view of the public. Contrast that with the most transparent president in history. He tells you every day what he thinks on any number of topics through social media, near the helicopter, in pool sprays, on live TV interviews.
You know, I
think when Adam Schiff, I think if Adam Schiff is going to make people raise their right hand, if he's going to make people raise their right hand and be under oath when they speak, I would politely suggest, what does he have to hide? Why doesn't he go under oath before he delivers another opening statement to the country? Look, I want to say something else.
I want to ask a question.
This is all interpretation.
I want to find out what the news is here. The president said he's going to release the first transcript of the phone call that took place back in April. When will that happen, and what will that show? How will that help your case?
Sure. It can happen as soon as tomorrow. The president has said definitely by week's end. He doesn't need to do this. These calls with foreign leaders, by their very nature, are classified. He has to declassify these calls for them to become public. The Democrats and their pals in the mainstream media never thought the president would release the first transcript. Now, let's review for everybody. The transcript that's been released from the July 25th call, that was a call between the Ukrainian American president to congratulate Ukrainian President on the parliamentary, the legislative elections. The one in April was to congratulate Zelensky on his election. And remember, he ran on draining the swamp, on an anti-corruption agenda. That's the entire point of these calls.
But it was described as innocuous. Is it a harmless phone call back in April, yes or no?
Yes, the president would describe it as perfect and benign, the way he describes the one from July 25th. And Bill, every witness up there so far has said, I assumed, I interpreted, it's conjecture. I heard it from somebody, heard it from somebody, heard it from somebody, and here's my interpretation. Folks, that is not how we impeach and remove presidents who are democratically elected. That's how the cheerleaders find out which one of them is going to be asked to the prom by the quarterback. He said, she said, he thinks, I interpreted. CIA does not stand for conjecture, interpretation, and assumptions. What are we doing? We're going to impeach and remove a president who was democratically elected, handily, by the way, in the Electoral College, and close to being reelected less than a year away, because people on Capitol Hill don't like him, and the 2020 crowd has no idea how to beat him at the ballot box. This is America. This is a democracy. So,
okay,
so
two
far,
more topics, two
ahead,
more
please.
minutes. You know, Nikki Haley has a new book out. She's making the rounds. She has strong accusations leveled against Rex Tillerson and General Kelly. Here is what she said on the Today Show earlier today and how she handled their complaints with her. Watch.
Did you tell the president afterward?
I told him that we, if this is what the president wanted, and especially we were talking about the issue of Palestinian aid, that we needed to do that.
Did you say to the president later, hey, you got two guys working against you?
The president was aware, yes.
You told him?
Yes.
Yes, was her final answer there. You remember that? Did that happen?
Well, I wasn't part of the conversation between Ambassador Haley and President Trump, but I have talked to President Trump about this. I think the bigger point here is one of the major things people get wrong about this president is that somehow he wants a bunch of yes men and yes women around him. There'd be literally no point of me being in the White House if that were true, and there'd be no point of him being president. He abhors obsequiousness, and he wants people to be honest about the policy prescriptions that they're laying out, wants to know the consequences, the precedent, what he has promised, what he has said he would do. And that's why today in New York, he's delivering a progress report on the economy. Promised he would do X, Y, and Z on taxes, regulation, energy. He's done it. And the same thing here.
So people, there's no disputing, despite the fact that Rex Tillerson denied Haley's claims.
No, that's between them.
Her story?
That's between them. What I'm saying is all three of them have had their say now. General Kelly, Rex Tillerson, former Secretary of State, and Ambassador Haley. So I'll leave that there. What I want to reflect is somebody who's been there from day one, and folks is still there, that this president appreciates dissenting opinions, differing backgrounds. He has people in meetings on any number of issues, like trade, like life, like the Second Amendment. He has people in on taxes, certainly, regulations. He has people who have differing opinions and are giving him different inputs, insights, impressions, ideas, background, and he makes the decision. You know why? Because he was elected president. There are only two people in the building where I work that were elected to anything, and their names are Donald Trump and Mike Pence. So the president makes the decisions in the end.
Okay, we're watching the big speech here in New York a bit later, 11 a.m. hour. Watch for headlines from that. You made the case in your first answer clearly. And President Erdogan from Turkey makes a White House visit tomorrow while the hearings are underway on Capitol Hill. A lot to follow. Wish we had more time. I hope you come back, Kellyanne.
Thank you, Bill.
You bet.
Have a nice day. Hi, Julie.
Kellyanne Conway from Washington.
All right.